Hey guys, so just to finish off the question that we were doing today, I've just put in, you'll see here, I've just put in my USC amount. We calculated that in class the other day, so I'm just going to go ahead. 32,800 multiplied by 0.2, and what I'm going to get there is 6,560. And then I am going to, for the second part of my tax, I'm going to get 36,960 minus that 32,000, because I want to find out how much I'm going to tax at 40%. So when I do that, I get 36,960 minus 32,800. I get 4,160. I'm going to multiply that by 0.4. 41, sorry. And when I do that, I get 1,705.6. And we know from all of our practice that we're going to take these two here and we're going to add them together. So when we do that, we get 6,560 equals, and this is our gross tax. So our gross tax is going to be 8,265.6. Okay, now they've told us that Elena paid a total of, so her net tax is 4,965.6. And what we know is that normally to get net tax, we take gross minus tax credit equals net. So what we can do here is we can take our gross minus our net, and we should get our tax credit here. So if I do that, so minus 4,965.6, I will get a tax credit of 3,300, and that's my final answer. Now for the next part, find Elena's total deduction, USC and income tax as a percentage of her gross income. So when we see this as a percentage, what that means is I need to put my USC and income tax value over my gross income. So in this question, we have her income tax, so that's her net income tax, is going to be 4,965.6. And we also know her USC from the previous question, 1,906. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that all over her gross wages, which is this one here up the very top. So it's going to go over 3,690. And then what I'm going to do then next is multiply that by 100 to get a percentage. And it says correct to the nearest percent. So when I do that, so we're just popping all that into the calculator. What I'm going to get now is 18.59. And they've said to the nearest percent, so I'm going to round that to 19%. Because again, remember, I look at these numbers here, and that's above 5, so I round up, which is going to give me 19. Okay, so the next question. The USC is calculated on gross income. The rates of USC are as follows. And really nicely here, I don't have to do any subtraction because they've actually given me the first two, and then I can subtract the last. So again, very similar to how we do income tax. We split this in 3. So we're going to split her income into 3. So the first 10,036, we're going to multiply by 0.02. Actually, I'll just pop that down here because we're running out of space. 0.02. The next 5,980, I'm going to multiply that by 0.04 for the 4%. And then the very last part, what I need to do here is 45,000. And I'm going to subtract the two amounts. So 10,036 and subtract 5,980 to find out what I'm going to tax. So when I do that, I'll get 28,000 984, and I'm going to multiply that by 0.07. So when I put in those figures, then I'm going to add. So for the first one I get 200.72, and you'll find some of these are the same in every question. For the second one I get 239.2, and for the last one 28,984 multiplied by 0.07, I'm going to get 2028.88, and we're asked to find her USC for the year. So all I'm going to do then is take those three values and add them all together, and that'll give me my total USC. So I have 200.72 plus 239.2 plus 2028.88, and my total amount then will be 2468.8. Okay, the next part is just about tax credits and how sometimes they calculate tax credits. This is actually a really simple question. So all they asked was, they gave you this table of tax credits and the different tax credits for different types of people. And then they've said Niamh is a single person, so there's a tax credit there for a single person, and a PAYE worker, there's a tax credit for a PAYE worker. Calculate her total tax credits. So all you're doing there is 1650 plus 1650, and that's the two tax credits for a single person PAYE worker, and you're going to get 0033, so 3,300. Okay, so the next part of the question just asks you to do what we've done before. Standard rate of tax is 20%, a higher rate is 41%, and the standard rate cut-off point for a single person is 32,800. Calculate Niamh's tax bill. So you'll see that I've just put these in here just so I know, and actually I forgot to put in her gross income was 45,000. So I'm just going to do as before. You can fast forward the video here if you're happy enough with this section. So again, 32,800, and I'm going to multiply that by 0.2, and I know I should probably know this by now, but 32,800 multiplied by 0.2 gives me 6560, and then I am going to take 45,000 minus my 32,800 to get the amount that I'm going to tax of 40%. So 45,000 minus 32,800, it will give me 12,200, and I'm going to tax that at 0.41. And when I do that, I get 5002. And again, from our practice of these questions, I am going to take those two figures and I'm going to add them. Now, they've asked for Niamh's tax bill for 2011. So I'm just going to show you, first of all, adding these two figures, we are going to get the gross tax, which will be 11,562. So that's the gross. Now, we know that from the gross, we take a tax credit, which we have 3,300. And when I do that, 3,300, what I'll get is net tax, and that will be 7,932, and that's my final answer. The last part of the question said calculate Niamh's net pay for the year after tax and USC are paid. So important here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our gross income, which is 45,000. We're going to take from that our net tax. Okay, so our net tax, we don't have to include our tax credit here because it's already included in this figure, 7,932. And we take away USC, and that's 2468.8, and that will be her net income. So I think you've realised by now that you come away with substantially less when you're working, but that's how tax works. So she gets 34,599.20, and that's the final answer.